The harsh truth about why you're still stuck. Welcome to my channel. Today we need to go very hard on the truth. Let's be honest. You are not stuck because of bad luck. You are not stuck because the economy is hard. You are not stuck because you did not get the right opportunities. You are stuck because of decisions you are making every single day that you refuse to call decisions. You are stuck because of habits you have normalized. You are stuck because of a version of yourself you have become too comfortable defending. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your life begins to change. Most people will not make it. Not because the world is unfair, though sometimes it is. Not because success is impossible, because it is not. Most people will not make it because they are in love with their excuses. They have built a whole identity around why things are hard for them, why their situation is different, why the rules that apply to other people do not apply to them. And every morning, they wake up and feed that identity instead of challenging it. That is the first harsh truth. Your excuses have become your personality. Think about that. When someone asks you why you have not started that business, why you have not gone back to school, why you are still in that dead-end job, what comes out of your mouth? Is it a plan? Is it a date? Is it a decision? Or is it a story? A perfectly rehearsed, emotionally convincing story about why things have not worked out. You have told that story so many times you believe it. You have told it so many times it feels like fact. But it is not fact. It is a choice dressed up as circumstance. Here is something nobody wants to say to you, but somebody has to. The version of you that exists right now is not a victim of your life. It is a product of your choices. Every single thing about where you are today, your finances, your relationships, your health, your opportunities, every single one of those things has been shaped by decisions you made. Not all of them. Life is not entirely in your control, but far more of it than you are willing to admit. And this is where people get uncomfortable. Because the moment you accept that your choices created your current reality, you lose the ability to blame someone else. You lose the comfort of pointing at your parents, your government, your upbringing, your ex, your boss. You have to look in the mirror and say, I did this. And for most people, that is too painful. So they stay stuck. They choose the comfort of blame over the power of accountability. Every single day. Let us talk about time, because time is where the real truth hides. You say you want to be successful. You say you want to build something. You say you want a better life. But what are you actually doing with your time? Not what you intend to do. Not what you plan to do eventually. What are you actually doing right now, today, with the hours you have been given? The average person spends 3 to 5 hours a day on their phone, scrolling, watching, consuming, reacting. 3 to 5 hours. That is 20 to 35 hours a week. That is over 1,000 hours a year. And at the end of that year, what do you have to show for those 1,000 hours? Nothing. Literally nothing. No skill built. No business started. No knowledge gained that will serve your future. Just 1,000 hours of other people's content, consumed and forgotten. Now imagine if you had taken even half of that time, 500 hours, and poured it into learning a skill, into building something, into reading, studying, practicing, creating. Where would you be? You know the answer. You already know. That is why this hurts. You are not broke because money is hard to make. You are broke because you are spending your most valuable resource, your time, on things that produce absolutely nothing. You are not building. You are watching other people build. You are not creating. You are consuming. And then you wonder why your life is not changing. The second harsh truth is this: you do not actually want success as much as you want comfort. Say that again slowly. You do not want success as much as you want comfort. Because if you truly wanted success, the way you say you do, the way you post about it, the way you talk about it, you would sacrifice comfort for it. You would wake up early when you are tired. You would stay up late when you want to sleep. You would say no to the night out when you have work to do. You would choose the hard thing over the easy thing consistently, not occasionally, consistently. But that is not what most people do. Most people choose comfort every single time. They choose the extra hour of sleep over the early morning session. They choose the weekend hangout over the hours of focused work. They choose the Netflix show over the book. They choose the scroll over the study. And they do this every single day while telling themselves they are serious about success. You cannot be serious about success and serious about comfort at the same time. Those two things are in conflict. Serious success requires serious sacrifice, not occasional sacrifice. Not sacrifice when it is convenient. Consistent, deliberate, uncomfortable sacrifice. And most people are simply not willing to do that. Not really. Not when it actually counts. Think about the last 30 days of your life. Not the last 30 days you imagined. The actual last 30 days. How many days did you wake up early with intention? How many days did you spend at least 2 hours working on something that will actually move your future forward? How many days did you go to bed feeling like you gave everything you had? Be honest. Not with me. With yourself. Because your honest answer tells you everything about where you will be a year from now. Here is the third harsh truth. The people you are surrounding yourself with are keeping you stuck. This one is personal. This one cuts deep because you love some of these people. They are your friends, your family, people who mean well. But meaning well and being good for your growth are two completely different things. When you talk about your goals around certain people, what happens? Do they get excited for you? Do they push you? Do they challenge you to think bigger? Or do they say things like, "Are you sure about that? That sounds risky. Why do you want to leave a good job? Just be realistic." If the people closest to you are consistently pouring cold water on your ambition, they are not your support system. They are your ceiling. And you have to make a decision. A hard, uncomfortable, sometimes painful decision. You have to decide whether you are going to keep managing their comfort or start protecting your potential. Because you cannot do both. You can either keep shrinking yourself to fit into the spaces people have built for you, or you can grow and accept that some people will not come with you. Growth always comes with loss, not because you are abandoning people, but because not everyone is meant for where you are going. This does not mean you treat people badly. It does not mean you become arrogant or disconnected. It means you become intentional about energy. You become protective of your mental space. You become deliberate about who gets access to your dreams before those dreams are strong enough to survive criticism. Because a dream in its early stages is fragile. And the wrong voices at the wrong time can kill it before it ever gets the chance to breathe. Now let us talk about fear. Because underneath all of it, underneath the excuses, the comfort-seeking, the toxic relationships you will not leave, underneath all of it is fear. Fear is the real reason you are stuck. Not the fear you admit to, the one you hide, the one that disguises itself as practicality, as wisdom, as being realistic. You are afraid of failure. Not in the abstract. You are afraid of trying your hardest and still failing. Because if you try your hardest and fail, you lose the story. the story that says you would have made it if you had really tried. As long as you never fully commit, you never fully fail. You always have the excuse that you did not really give it everything. And that excuse protects you. It keeps your ego safe. It keeps your identity intact. But do you understand what that protection is costing you? It is costing you your actual life. It is costing you the version of yourself you were meant to become. It is costing you every single day you spent half committed, half awake, half alive, protecting a story that was never going to build anything anyway. The fourth harsh truth: waiting is a decision. Every day you wait, you are choosing to wait. You tell yourself you are waiting for the right time. You are waiting until you have more money. You are waiting until the kids are older, until you finish this course, until things calm down at work, until you feel ready. But the right time is not coming. It was never coming. The right time is a myth that your fear invented to keep you in place. People who succeed do not succeed because they found the perfect moment. They succeed because they moved before they were ready. They started before they had all the answers. They launched the imperfect product. They made the uncomfortable call. They published the work before it was perfect. They moved. And because they moved, momentum built. Because momentum built, clarity came. Because clarity came, progress happened. But it all started with movement. Imperfect, uncomfortable, scary movement. You are not waiting for the right time. You are waiting for fear to go away. And here is the brutal truth about that. Fear does not go away. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving in spite of it. Every person you admire, every successful entrepreneur, every person who built something real, they were afraid. They doubted themselves. They had the same voice in their head telling them it would not work, that they were not ready, that they were crazy. The only difference between them and you is that they moved anyway. Let us talk about consistency, because this is where most people fall apart. You get inspired. You feel it. You start. You work hard for a week, maybe 2, maybe even a month. And then life happens. You get tired. You get distracted. You miss a day. Then 2 days. Then a week. And suddenly you are back to 0, feeling guilty, telling yourself you will start again on Monday. And Monday comes, and the cycle repeats. This is not a motivation problem. This is a discipline problem. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is a system. Systems work whether you feel like it or not. The people who build real things do not build them because they are always motivated. They build them because they have built systems and structures that force consistency, regardless of how they feel on any given day. You need to stop relying on how you feel. You need to start building non-negotiables, things you do every single day, no matter what. Not because you feel like it, not because you are inspired, because you decided, because you made a commitment to your future self, and you are honoring that commitment. That is what separates the people who make it from the people who stay stuck. Not talent, not luck, not resources. Discipline. Daily, boring, unglamorous discipline. The fifth harsh truth. You are addicted to consuming and allergic to creating. Everything about the modern world is designed to make you a consumer. Every app, every platform, every algorithm is engineered to keep you scrolling, watching, reacting, consuming. And you have been so thoroughly trained by these systems that you have forgotten how to create. You have forgotten that you have something to offer, that your ideas have value, that your story, your experience, your perspective can build something real. But instead of creating, you watch other people create. You watch people build businesses and think, I could never do that. You watch people share their stories and think, I wish I had the confidence. You watch people post their success and feel motivated for 10 minutes before going back to scrolling. And the cycle continues. You remain a spectator in a world that needs builders. Here is what I want you to understand. Everything you admire, everything that inspired you, every video that moved you, every book that changed your life, every business that serves you, was created by someone who was once exactly where you are. Someone who had doubt, someone who had no audience, someone who had no guarantee it would work. They created anyway, and now you are consuming what their courage produced. Your turn is not coming. Your turn is now. But you have to stop watching and start building. You have to start creating with the tools you have, from the position you are in, with the knowledge you currently possess. You do not need more information. You need more action. You have consumed enough. It is time to create. Now let us talk about money, because this is one of the biggest areas where people stay stuck. Most people have a broken relationship with money, not just practically, but psychologically. They grew up hearing things like, money does not grow on trees, rich people are greedy, we cannot afford that. And those beliefs got so deep into their subconscious that even now, as adults, even when they are working hard and trying to build, they are unconsciously sabotaging themselves. You cannot build wealth with a poverty mindset. You cannot attract abundance while carrying beliefs that say money is scarce, that you do not deserve it, that wanting it is somehow wrong. Money is a tool. It is not evil. It is not shameful. It is not something only other kinds of people are allowed to have. It is a resource that flows to people who understand its value, who create value for others, and who build systems to attract and hold it. If you are constantly broke, ask yourself this: what are your actual beliefs about money? Not what you say you believe, what your actions reveal you believe. Because if you believe deep down that money is hard to get and easy to lose, you will spend it the moment you have it. If you believe that rich people are lucky or dishonest, you will unconsciously resist becoming one. Your beliefs are running your financial life. And until you change those beliefs, no strategy, no business idea, no extra income will be enough. The sixth harsh truth. You are waiting for someone to give you permission. Permission to start. Permission to dream bigger. Permission to leave the path that was laid out for you. And nobody is coming with that permission. Not your parents, not your boss, not your community, not society. The only person who can give you permission is you. And the moment you understand that is the moment everything changes. You were taught to follow a script, go to school, get a job, work for 30 years, retire. And for some people that script works. But for you, reading this right now, you already know that script does not fit your soul. You already know you were built for something else. But you are afraid to claim it without permission, without someone telling you it is okay, without some external validation that your dream is real and worthy and worth pursuing. Stop waiting. Nobody is coming to validate your vision. Nobody is going to hand you a certificate that says your dream is approved. You have to approve it yourself. You have to decide for yourself that your life is worth building on your own terms. And then you have to move. Scared, uncertain, unvalidated. You have to move anyway. Here is the thing about being stuck. Being stuck feels safe. Change is terrifying. Even when your current situation is painful, it is familiar. And familiar feels safe, even when it is destroying you. The mind will choose familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility every single time if you let it. That is just how human psychology works. We are wired for certainty. We are wired for pattern. We are wired to stay where we are unless something forces us to move. But the people who change their lives do not wait to be forced. They choose discomfort before it chooses them. They choose to be uncomfortable now so they don't have to be desperate later. They trade the comfort of staying stuck for the possibility of becoming who they were always meant to be. And yes, it is terrifying. Yes, there is doubt. Yes, there are days when it feels like it is not working. But they keep going because they understand something most people never learn. The discomfort of growth is temporary. The regret of never trying is permanent. Read that again. The discomfort of growth is temporary. The regret of never trying is permanent. You will survive the fear. You will survive the failure. You will survive the hard days and the setbacks and the moments of doubt. What you may not survive emotionally, what will quietly hollow you out over years and decades, is the knowledge that you had something in you and you never gave it the chance to come out. The seventh harsh truth: you already know what you need to do. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable truth of all. You do not need another video. You do not need another book. You do not need another motivational speech or another course or another strategy session. You already know what you need to do. You know the habit you need to break. You know the relationship that is pulling you down. You know the business idea you keep sitting on. You know the skill you need to develop. You know the conversation you need to have. You know. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is execution. The problem is the gap between knowing and doing. And that gap is filled with nothing but fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of success. Fear of change. Fear of the unknown. Fear dressed up in 1,000 different costumes, each one designed to keep you exactly where you are. So here is your moment, right now. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not after the new year. Right now. What is the one thing you have been avoiding? What is the one move you know you need to make, but have been putting off? What is the decision your future self is waiting for you to make? Identify it. Name it. And then commit, truly commit, to making that move. Not perfectly. Not with a guarantee. Not with all the information. Just commit. Because commitment is where transformation begins. Not inspiration. Not motivation. Not the right conditions. Commitment. The moment you commit, your brain begins to reorganize around your decision. Resources appear. Ideas come. Opportunities show up. Not because the universe is magic, because you are finally paying attention. You have been stuck, not because your circumstances are impossible. You have been stuck because you have been choosing to be stuck. Moment by moment, day by day, in 1,000 small ways that added up to a life that does not match the one you dream about at night. But that ends today. Not because of some magical transformation, because you are choosing to see the truth clearly and act on what you see. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are simply someone who has been operating from old programming, old fears, old beliefs, and old habits. And programming can be changed. Fears can be faced. Beliefs can be replaced. Habits can be rebuilt. None of it is easy. None of it is fast. But all of it is possible. And you are capable of every single bit of it. The question was never whether you could do it. The question was always whether you would decide to. Today is the day you decide. Not to have it all figured out. Not to be fearless. Not to have the perfect plan. But to decide that the version of you that stays stuck is no longer acceptable. To decide that you are serious. To decide that your potential matters more than your comfort. To decide that your future is worth fighting for right now, with everything you have, starting today. The harsh truth about why you were stuck is also the liberating truth about why you do not have to stay there. You chose it, which means you can unchoose it. You built it, which means you can rebuild it. You created the prison, which means you hold the key. Open the door, walk out, and do not look back. Thank you for your time. If you loved this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.